Colleen, known as the girl in the box. What I'll probably do with Colleen, I'll see how much they talk because this one's a 6-minute, I believe it's an interview with Colleen. And then I'll go into what I found on the true crime database and read a little bit from there. But, man, I keep forgetting to look at the camera. But go ahead and get started. Let's get this show rolling.
The case is decades old, but the horror of what happened to Colleen Stan has not diminished. In 1977, Colleen Stan was 20 years old. She was hitchhiking on I-5 outside Red Bluff and was picked up by a young couple. They had a baby with them. Colleen thought they looked safe.
The husband looked kind of like dirty, like he maybe had just got off work, and his young wife, and she was holding their 7-month-old baby.
Once in the car, the couple drove her into the country. Colleen was overpowered, handcuffed, and a homemade box was put over her head. She was taken to this home in Red Bluff, where she was led to the basement.
Jeez.
Instruments of torture were waiting.
From now on, there is no more Colleen Stan. You will answer to Kay. You will
Oh, this
address
is a
me
movie?
as master and my wife as ma'am.
Oh, wow.
It's a contract. It formalizes your status as my slave.
You're only here to take the pain.
A movie based on Colleen's experience airs this weekend on Lifetime Channel. The first time I heard of Colleen...
Hold on. Because since we are live anyway, let me figure out what they're talking about. Colleen Stan. And this, I forget how long ago this was made. I'll check after. Colleen Stan, let's put Lifetime on here. Let's figure this out. Oh, Girl in the Box 2016 film. See, this is probably what I need to make a Patreon on and to just watch stuff on there. Yeah, I'll probably start doing that. Yeah, because that will make sense. But that's crazy. I feel like I saw something. Lifetime has some crazy movies because there was one about... It was a dad who had basically sexually abused his daughter. And, no, let's forget sexually abused, raped his daughter. But kept her in a basement. I forget what that one was called. But just was having like kids after kid. And for, I want to say like 15 plus years. Now, how the mom didn't like hear anything, I'm not sure. Oh, the way the movie depicted it was like, had like a soundproof wall, I think, if I remember right. And it was like the movie concept was cool, but learning that, I'm pretty sure that's off of a real life event, that's scary, to be honest with you. But yeah, that honestly, I guess we'll see here in a second. This kind of reminds me of that for whatever reason.
Colleen Stan, I was a reporter at the ABC affiliate in Reading. It was 1989, and I really wanted to interview her. I looked for her, but she didn't want to be found, and people didn't leave digital footprints like they do today. 20 years later, J.C. Dugard is found, and I decide to look for Colleen again. This time I spend a week searching online. I find a posting on an obscure website under a pseudonym, and I reach out. There's just enough detail that I think it might be her. It is. She reaches back, we talk, she agrees to an interview. That was 2009. Today will be my third interview with Colleen Stan.
Oh, wow.
Good to see you.
Are you going to watch this movie?
For me, it would be if I'm the victim, no. And for this lady to get a third interview with Colleen means she really trusts this lady or this reporter, whoever she is.
I have it set up to record it. I may watch it that night. I know a couple of my friends have said they will come over and watch it with me, and one is actually my psychiatrist guy that I see.
Makes sense.
And he said he would come over and watch it with me. I'll probably cry when I watch it.
I bet. I would too.
It's very intense.
I wouldn't even want to watch
Addison
it.
Timlin plays Colleen. And when Colleen visited the set, the young actress talked about the vulnerability she felt just while shooting the torture scenes.
She was actually in the basement, and she was naked and blindfolded and gagged and handcuffed, and she had a wig on, and so they couldn't take these things off in between takes because it would take too much time. So she just had to stay like this for several hours.
Colleen lived that nightmare for 7 years, much of it in a box under Cameron Hooker's bed.
I think the thing that shocks people the most when they hear about your case, I mean,
Yeah, the box thing.
torture shocks them and the sexual abuse, but having to spend all that time in that box under his bed. I mean, what would you think about in there?
In your mind, you can go anywhere and you can do anything, you know. And I've heard a lot of POWs say that they did the same thing I did. And you just have to go someplace else in your mind. You have to think good thoughts and nice thoughts, and I thought of my family. I went on picnics with my family. I went on holidays with my family. I went to good and nice places.
Colleen says she isn't religious, but she truly feels God spoke to her during those dark times in the basement.
That's that. Yeah, because I'm reading here. Says Cameron Hooker. I'm assuming that's the guy that kept her in the box. Wait a second. No. Cameron Hooker. Who's Cameron Hooker? Cameron Hooker, a sadistic and controlling man, kept Stan in a coffin-like box underneath the couple's bed for up to 23 hours a day. That is insane. Oh, that might be the part where he changed the name. Did she? Let's see. Colleen Stan. Oh, her last name's Stan. I'll put that two together. But all right. So what else? It said the box was soundproof, designed to restrict movement, isolating her from the outside world and breaking her spirit. Hooker manipulated Stan into believing he was part of a powerful and dangerous organization called The Company that would kill her and her family if she tried to escape. How old was she? Because I think they said 20. Yeah, she was 20 in Oregon. Let's see. Hitchhiking from her home to a friend's birthday party. Again, women, and I know this is 77, so we have learned, but travel together and do not go anywhere alone. It says for the first few months, Stan was regularly tortured, raped, and brainwashed. And Cameron Hooker forced her to sign a slavery contract and renamed her Kay, further stripping her away from her identity and autonomy. Hooker's wife, Janice, played a complex role in the captivity, so there was two people involved in this. This is insane. She was both a participant in and a victim of her husband's abusive behavior, initially agreeing to the kidnapping as a means to control his sadistic urges. I wonder if the same thing happened to her, and she just give up is the wrong word, but she just maybe gave in, and was like, maybe this is the best I'm going to get, and so he stops torturing me. Let's find somebody else. Only thing I can think of. I'll keep reading it, but let the story finish.
Well, he was torturing me one night down in the basement, and he kind of slithered up next to me, and he says, "Go ahead and scream. I'll cut your vocal cords. I've done it before." And immediately, God spoke to me and said, "Do not scream. He is telling you the truth." I did what God said. I didn't scream. I never screamed when he tortured me because I didn't want him to cut my vocal cords.
Her captor's reference to doing it before is mentioned in the film, and Colleen says references another young woman who went missing before Colleen's capture. It is the only time she cries during our interview.
I bet. I would be crying too. I'd be crying the whole interview.
Ain't no way. I feel so bad for Marliz, and
I'd be crying every day.
I think because she was the first victim, and things just got totally out of control.
Wait, who did she say the first victim was? Hold on a second.
She cries during our interview.
I don't want to cry. But, I feel so bad for Marliz. And, I think because she was the first victim and things just got totally out of control. And he did the things that he did to her. And eventually he choked her to death.
Marie Elizabeth Spaneke was never found. But Colleen saw her every day.
He kept this picture of her, and
That's
in
insane.
the space in between the pedestal of the bed and the actual box that he kept me in under his water bed, there was a space, and he had my purse in there and my personal things, I guess, in it. And then he had this picture of this woman that he had propped up against my purse. So every time I got in and out of the box, I saw this picture of this woman.
Only after her escape did Colleen find out the woman in the picture was Spaneke.
I wasn't his first victim. I was just the one that survived.
Colleen says the movie will bring up difficult memories, but she already has painful daily reminders of her time in captivity.
How did she get?
Spinal injuries from the stretcher she endured, and a shoulder injury from the hanging hooks. But her spirit is light, and she's willing to face the darkness again, although dramatized now, if only to give others some hope.
There is still life after
Hopefully
such
she's getting
a tragic
paid
thing,
for her,
and
basically
I
her
hope
pain
that
being
that's what
dramatized.
my
Hopefully she got paid for that.
Is to people that they will see that, we all have some kind of trauma or tragedy in our lives at some point.
We do, but
I just hope that
it's not supposed to be like that, though.
See that, I made it through this. That they can get through whatever's going on in their lives, and that things can be some kind of semblance of normal again.
She has a strong soul. I'll give you that. Very strong soul to even make it through something like this. Now, I guess I'm assuming we're still going through the interview, but yeah, because the video's about to end anyway. Yeah, God bless that lady. So yeah, basically from what I'm reading, dude Cameron is Cameron Hooker. He's absolutely insane. From what Colleen just said here, there's more women. Like she said, she just got away. I'm trying to see where she got away or if it just says she got away. So it says, as years went by, Stan's life with terror continued. However, she was occasionally allowed some freedoms, such as visiting her family under strict conditions she would not reveal her true situation. Remarkably, despite the presence of her captors, Stan adhered to these conditions due to the deep psychological control Hooker had over her. Yeah, people say what they would do in this situation because I was just about to do it, but you never know what you would do in however long this has been going on, because we know it's been going on at least 7 years. So I'm not sure when he started allowing her to her family, see her family and whatnot, but probably had such a mind control over her. She probably thought her family would die. She signed the contract. She was renamed at this point. All right. It says the turning point in Stan's captivity. Let's call it Colleen. I don't know why I keep calling Stan. Colleen's captivity came in 1984 when Janice Hooker, struggling with her own sense of guilt and fear, confessed to Stan that the company was a fabrication. This revelation shattered the psychological chains that had kept Stan from escaping. With Janice's help, Stan finally fled the Hooker household on August 10th, 1984. She contacted her family, went to the police, and that led to Cameron Hooker's arrest. He's brought to trial. They testified against, and Janice testified against her husband. So her and Janice. And basically Cameron Hooker was convicted, kidnapping, rape, and sexual assault, sentenced to 104 years of prison. She should have. Because I'm pretty sure that's just with Colleen. If they, and people around that time, y'all could tell me, but I'm assuming if it's just Colleen, that's good. He shouldn't see the light of day again. But and other women don't even have a chance to defend themselves. And it says under here, her story has been recounted in books, documentaries, interviews, serving as a powerful testament to human endurance and the capacity to overcome even some of the most darkest circumstances. Yeah, what she did. Colleen Stan is a symbol of strength and survival. Her experience underscores the importance of vigilance and the support of victims of abuse, highlighting the psychological complexities involved in prolonged captivity. Yeah, that had to be a very traumatic experience. I honestly couldn't even imagine. Couldn't imagine. And doing it for 7 years and then thinking my family's going to die. And she's only 20 at this point. So you have to think, she's only a couple years out of high school. I think when people are like, why didn't she get a chance to go away? Why didn't she? She's only a couple years out of high school when she gets taken away. So at this point, you're just getting from under your parents' thumb, from what people tell you what to do. You're under your parents' rules, and now you start to live for yourself. And because I'm pretty sure they would have told her not to hitchhike. I would assume so. But you get just your own sense of freedom, and then basically your freedom gets taken away. And you're a young kid at that time, young adult at that time, and you just want it all to stop. And she kind of said that in an interview when she said she was in the box and she would just dream of being with her family. But man, that's sad. That's sad to even go through something like that. Yeah, because the torture, raping, that's what's leading to the brainwashing. Because you just want it to stop. So whatever he says that can get it to stop, I'll do. And that's probably what made her sign the slavery contract, made her change her name to Kay, made her believe in the company. Yeah, it probably happened. What I don't understand, though, is if the other lady knew this, what made her... I guess she was tortured at first, but if she knew the company was a fabrication, I wonder what made the other lady, Janice, stick to the role. I'm assuming she's a victim as well. I'm not sure if she got charged with anything, but I'm assuming she's a victim as well. So, it says she was, but I guess it's tough because it sounds like she brought her in. I guess maybe she brought her in, like I said earlier, to stop the torture on her own self. I'm not sure.